not gonna be your rebound. I'm not here to boost your ego. I'm not gonna lie here and cry myself to sleep all over a person who was never mine to keep. I'm not gonna be your rebound. Swiping left, but with you I swipe right.
Hi, I'm Pete Wright and I'm here at the Marshall Studios with my lovely Natal drum kit. So I started playing drums at the age of 13, and at that same time I remember 2 albums coming out that year, Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness by Smashing Pumpkins and The Bends by Radiohead, and I think it just all amalgamated at the same time. It was like I was just learning this instrument and getting into bands and music and hearing drums, and those 2 albums coming out in the same year, that year, just opened my ears in so many different ways, and still I would say Jimmy Chamberlin and Phil Selway, they for me are my 2 biggest influences. You know, at that young age, I just wanted to play to the records all the time and try and kind of imitate what was happening. And I would say certainly with Jimmy Chamberlin, there was a lot of dynamics and lots of musicianship involved in there, and his use of toms as well, and accenting patterns was a really big thing for me. And I think with Phil Selway, like as a drummer, I always remember hearing the intro to the song High and Dry, which is like the classic, you know, such a simple groove, but most drummers know it straight away just from that intro. And just that little extra hi-hat, the boom, boom, ba boom. I just remember that hitting my ears and me being like, I can now start to add these little hi-hat and go over to the ride and maybe add these little extra skipped notes. So I think just playing to them and listening to them over and over and over, I was addicted to it. What we've got here is the Natal Maple Originals kit. It's in a 22, a 12 and a 16 floor tom. And then snare drum wise, I'm using the 14 by 5.5. It's a tulip wood Cafe Racer snare, which for me is wonderful. I've got the hand hammered bronze snare as well, which is a great snare, but this is just super versatile and works cranked up high, and you know, as a low fat snare drum, it sounds brilliant as well. For me, I like very low, deep, fuddy toms especially. And with maple you can do that. I use the Remo Emperor Coateds on the top, and I find that just on this maple shell just gives me that kind of bottom end and fud that I need. But I think out of the whole kit, it's the kick drum. There's something about Natal kick drums which are just wonderful. I get so many compliments about the kick drum, especially. In terms of writing drum parts, what I'm finding with Millie Manders at the moment is I tend to get sent ideas, drum ideas, which have already been laid down with scratch tracks essentially. But I'm definitely given the freedom to take them however I want to, you know. But I think it's sometimes hard as a drummer. Sometimes you do have to step back and allow the songwriters to take their own directions sometimes, because I feel that if someone has a direction that they want their song to go in and they have an idea of what they can hear, as a drummer, sometimes you just have to kind of put your ego to the side and work with what works for them and works for the band as a whole. So I'm not always precious over it, put it that way. I think if someone shows me and they're very rigid and it has to be like this, if it's for the best for the song, then I'm on board. In terms of me personally, I've on all social media, you can find me at Pete Wright Drums. In terms of the band, Millie Manders and The Shutup, again, you can find us on Instagram. The latest single is up on all digital streaming services, and just check out when we're playing live, because we're going to be on the road quite a lot this year, so it'd be really cool to see some people come out to them. So, and hopefully, you know, thanks to Natal for giving me this chance and this experience to come in, and you know, hopefully, you know, we can pick up some new fans along the road, and yeah, just come and see me and this beautiful drum kit.
Can't get enough out of my hair. I'm so jealous of you.